GM, it's the 27th of Feb, and this is your daily Solana debrief, long form edition. Starting with Moonwalk Fitness. So this is something I actually haven't used yet, but basically it's like a dApp that you use. You bet a certain amount of crypto, you kind of put it as collateral, and if you don't do your steps daily, then you're in a little group of friends, and whoever doesn't, then that basically goes to the other people. So it encourages you to stay healthy throughout the fact that we're in an actual bull market, and people like myself will just be sitting here making content and getting a little bit more plumper. But with this, you don't. It's a win-win. So as you can see, you pool your crypto with friends, you engage in fitness challenges with those you know and new friends you will meet. Set goals. If you miss goals, you compensate friends. And if you hit goals, you hold your deposits. You can use Bonk, Sol, or USDC, and it's currently in private beta. However, I'm telling you this now so you get involved. And remember, make sure to keep notifications on for the opportunity to compete in sponsored games very soon. And as I mentioned, you can use Bonk as collateral. I'm unsure which groups have private beta, but I do know the Barrows has it, so I'll just be joining in with this entry here. It's about $1,000 worth of Bonk. But it's only 10k steps a day, and that's definitely achievable. Next up, we've got Tensor and the price lock update. Fees have been brought down, so they're at 0.5 to 1% lower. So I've done a big tutorial on this, and this is a very, very cool tool that you can use if you want to long something. If you haven't seen my tutorial, check it out. But let's just quickly go to tensor.trade, and I'll just quickly point it out. So you go to price lock up here, and we can purchase a lock. So what are you bullish on? Tensorians have gone down quite a bit in price. So if you put a short on, this would have been lucrative. Kalanos, I did think these were going to go up, so I put a long on. That didn't work out well. If you put a long on homeowners, that would have probably done well. And it's hard to see anything that's maybe an obvious play in terms of longs or shorts at the moment. Maybe flash trade, maybe a long here could do well. Anyway, you don't have to long or short yourself. You can go and fund them. And if you fund them, you earn a decent yield. Stablecoin news is over 17 million in stablecoins in the past 24 hours. This is tiny. This is really, really tiny. It's good, but it's tiny. This is soon going to be hundreds of millions of dollars per day. As soon as more stuff just starts shipping on Solana, money will come from other chains. Are you aware with the different extensions available for tokens? So these are all being worked on, and it's a little bit complex because a lot of them haven't actually been developed yet. They're kind of being developed. But let's have a quick look at this Solana token extensions deep dive from Super Team DAO. So we should all be pretty familiar with the fact we've got NFTs and we've got normal SPL tokens, Solana Program Labs tokens. I send you USDC, you send it back, easy peasy. There's a very, very small gas fee. There's no transfer fee. We don't lose any of the USDC or anything like that. However, there's quite a few more things that can be done. So we'll go over some of them quickly. Confidential transfers, so hidden transfer amounts, while sender receiver address and token are public. That's pretty cool. Transfer hooks, so custom transfer logic. So as an example, you can send tokenized T-bill only to whitelisted KYC'd wallets. So a T-bill is like a treasury bill, such as like a US dollar treasury bill, like it earns a certain amount of interest, and you need to have KYC in order to receive that. These tokenized ones are not very popular, but they will become popular in this cycle. Transfer fees we're already aware of. This is prevalent on the token 22 standard. So as an example, if you have a good meme coin, it's launched, then every time you transfer it, there could be a certain amount that's taken and it's distributed to other meme coiners. Permanent delegate, I'm not sure exact the use case for this, but all good. Interest earning tokens. So you'd literally be able to see in the UI what the interest rate was, and non-transferable tokens. There's plenty more things. And by the way, if you're interested in building this sort of stuff, if you're knowledgeable here, go to Fluxbeam Dex and then just scroll down just a little bit and you'll see this here, $25,000 in prizes to basically push the envelope and make these things happen faster. Let's quickly touch on NFTs. Now, personally, I'm going to be putting more emphasis on infrastructure and DeFi as opposed to individual NFT projects. The reason for that is because a lot of NFTs, they extract liquidity from the ecosystem and DeFi can add it in and it can make things actually super, super worthwhile. There's always going to be the outliers there, but in general, a lot of new NFTs that are launching, they're trying the same thing. The people just don't have experience. And because they don't have experience, they're going to achieve the same result and people will lose money, generally speaking. So Turned Up Dylan is from the Dead King Society. He's the founder, and he has a thesis that the former glorious NFT collections like the Bored Ape Yacht Club and so on, they are not going to have this kind of magical pump effect because Their holders have poisoned most brands, and people will gravitate towards a new shiny toy with a clean slate to create an unhindered identity. Now, this is definitely true. However, a smart existing team can pivot and learn from the mistakes faster than a new brand can go and ship them. But regardless, it's still quite a bit of effort. At present, I'm aware of no hyped mints on any chain. There will be some out there for sure, but I'm just not aware of them. I feel the current narrative is definitely deepened, and in that, basically AI, rendering, GPU use, all that sort of stuff. Then DeFi, and then accumulating points and getting tokens and going from there. However, having said that, some collections have done very, very well. Now, Solana Sensei is proud to announce that the artist for their new collection is the Legend Monolith. And then the cost of Namaste, the collection, just rose 42% up to 19 Sol. And this was given away for free last year. I have one and I've never put it on the market whatsoever. Also, this was yesterday, but Solana Sensei has a drip drop. I forgot to subscribe to this, so I'm going to go and subscribe today. But make sure you're using drip. And if you want to, subscribe to Sensei. Benny's done a thread on Adrastea Finance. I've already touched on Adrastea Finance quite a bit. All I'm suggesting right now is get whitelist so you can beta test this. That's the actionable. I've done the most thorough Meteora tutorial ever. Everything's broken up and timestamped, so make sure you check it out. Meteora is amazing, but it does have a higher amount of knowledge needed in order to really utilize the dApp. Otherwise, you're going to make positions, they're going to go out of range, and then they won't earn any fees. So if you do need something with lower effort, then Kamino Finance is for you, but definitely use Meteora if you have the ability to do so. WEN has acquired Tweets of Cats. This is really cool, having between 600 million to 1.2 billion monthly impressions. And to be perfectly honest, at least by crypto standards, a lot of these are kind of average. I mean, this is cool. Some of them are cool, of course. This one's pretty funny. However, I went down them yesterday and some of them were a little bit lame, but it doesn't matter. This is really cool, the fact that it's managed by WEN Foundation. I'm not entirely sure how WEN Coin is going to get to the masses, but it's certainly possible. Avicii Club has created Gasless for Solana. No need to hold Sol for swaps. I haven't tried this out, but this could be something that you want to use if you've got no Sol in a wallet, but you do have another token. Make sure you are following Saint Pump. I don't follow him that often because I just get too busy. However, notifications are on. Sometimes I miss things, so maybe this is one of the accounts that you literally bookmark and you check in daily, as opposed to just waiting for the Twitter algorithm to hopefully feed you the information. His calls just seem to be very often on point. Now, there may be some that don't go well. That's just the nature of any trader. But 57K or nothing 2 weeks ago, and then bam, just like that. Not saying you should go and ride it from 52 to 57, because maybe your stop loss would have been hit. But in general, he does have a really good finger on the pulse with the markets. Now, the other day I mentioned Multiply and the fact that right now it was not a good time to use it. Someone in the comments basically said, yeah, but what if you're just farming points? In which case, if you're farming points, yes, it is a good idea. When I initially made the tutorial on this, I basically said, as long as the borrow APY stays under about 6% or thereabouts, then it would be fine. It would be a good move. However, right now, if we go here, we can basically see the max APY is very low because we're essentially borrowing Sol at about 8%. And from there, unfortunately, we're not getting decent returns because the actual staking rewards are under that. So just for context, if you were staking 100 Sol naturally, in 1 year, you would probably get around about 7.8 Sol. So with this, you're getting less than half, but of course you are getting points. I would say though, the actual alpha here is most likely just the fact that if you go and put Sol straight in here, you've got a higher LTV as compared to using Jito Sol, and you're getting a very, very decent reward. Having said that, I love Jito Sol, I love B Sol, and I love M Sol. And also, it is in my best interest that you go and stake your Sol with validator.com. And that does have the lowest risk because there is smart contract risk in this. But if you want points and if you want to do some borrowing, then maybe go and put some Sol in here or convert it to Jito Sol or B Sol or M Sol and go and supply it here. And just so I've made this really clear, this max LTV means that if I put in, say, $1,000 worth of Jito Sol, I can borrow $450 worth of USDC, but if I deposit straight Sol, I can borrow $650 worth of USDC. They would be the upper limits, and I would definitely stay away from those. You can check out my Kamino Finance videos for more information. But what I'm basically saying is if one door closes, as an example, multiply, then another one is going to open with lend. And this account here is just a tutorial account, but I would like to have a few million points ideally. So I'll suggest the same thing for you. Now let's have a quick look at prices. So right now, Ethereum's gone on a bit of a tear, which is good. It's very good to see. And if we have a look at Ethereum, we can see over a short period of time, it's gone up over 50%. Now this is quite big for a large market cap coin. And then if we have a look at Bitcoin over the last 3 months, it too has gone a similar amount, meaning that basically, I don't think Ethereum's really outperformed the market. If we have a look at Solana over the last 3 months, it's effectively doubled. So it has outperformed the market. And if we go back further, it's definitely outperformed the market. But in general, things are pumping. Now, what I also want to look at is the fact that in the last 24 hours, there's been some very, very big growth with Pyth. I've mentioned it before that I'm more bullish on this than I am Chainlink. And from its launch price, came down slightly, and now it's just been rocketing up. I'm not sure of the news which is causing this, but all I've done with my Pyth is I've just gone and staked it, and I'm voting on proposals. Also, if you go to CoinGecko, click on categories, and just scroll on down, you'll find artificial intelligence. If we have a look at these over the last 7 days, you can see a lot of these are going crazy. And a lot of these will go even crazier. Like Nasana, this is absolutely insane. I completely missed the boat on this one. This was $4 and something the other day, and now it's $6.36. And if we zoom out 1 year, we can see it was basically 2 cents. And then this kind of happened. And at 80 cents, I thought, well, I've missed the boat. And then this happened. This next part is not financial advice. But when you miss this, and then you miss this, and then this, in general, it's not going to be a Bitcoin. It's not going to be Ethereum. It's not going to be a Solana. Meaning it can still go up in price, of course. But if you miss the boat, sometimes it's best that you go and catch another boat. Having said that, if you have a good NVIDIA GPU, you should see if you can be a part of their test network and actually earn rewards. The other thing I want to mention is not really to be cautious, but just have a look at the number of AI coins that we would have never heard of. And a lot of them are very, very low in terms of market cap. So I have no idea what any of them are, to be perfectly honest. Tiny market cap, fully diluted valuation. If we go out max, we can see it's been around for quite some time, and then it's had a recent spike. Maybe it's good, I have no idea. But what I'm trying to mention here is do some proper research. Next week, I'll spend a day just researching AI coins. But if you're going to jump into it in the meantime, just be aware they're going to probably be like meme coins. Most of them will fail. They have a dream, they have a white paper, and that's it. And really, the ultimate goal is we need to outperform Bitcoin. And if we can do that, we need to outperform Ethereum. And if we can do that, we need to outperform Solana. And in my opinion, Solana will outperform in terms of gains from here. It will outperform Ethereum and Bitcoin by quite some distance. So if I'm quite confident, and it's not financial advice, but if the price of Sol at $111 goes to $800, that's almost an 8x. I do not see the same thing happening with Bitcoin, and I do not see the same thing happening with Ethereum. And then with the NOS coin, I would need a lot more knowledge on that to know if that's going to go an 8x or more. Anyway, that's all for today. Stay curious. We'll catch you in the next tutorial.